Welcome to the Sleepy Christian, and tonight we will be talking about resting in God's presence and the peace that comes from trusting in His Word. As you settle into bed, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let go of the day. You're in a safe place now, surrounded by calm and guided by God's truth. Where in the world are you listening from tonight? Whether you're in a quiet town, a bustling city, or somewhere in between, you are so welcome here. Let's begin. Have you ever felt like life was just too much? Like the noise, the pressure, and the constant motion of it all were pressing in from every side? Maybe today was that kind of day. Maybe your mind has been racing from one worry to the next, trying to solve everything, hold everything together, and appear strong, even when your heart felt like it was unraveling. You're not alone in that. And the truth is, you don't have to carry it all. Because right now, in this quiet moment, as the world begins to fade into rest, God is offering you something so much better than control. He's offering you peace. The kind of peace that doesn't demand understanding or answers, just presence, His presence, a refuge that doesn't collapse under pressure, a shelter that welcomes you without condition. The Bible says in Psalm 46:1, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Not a distant help, not a help that only arrives when everything is cleaned up and put back together. No, He is ever-present, constant, immediate, near, right here. Even now, as you're lying in bed with the lights low and your thoughts still swirling, He is already leaning in. He's not waiting for you to pray the perfect prayer or fix the pieces of your life. He's just here, with you, ready to be your shelter. So let that truth begin to settle in your heart. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to deserve comfort. You simply have to receive it. Maybe today, you held back tears. Or maybe they spilled over when no one was looking. Maybe you smiled when you didn't feel like smiling, showed up when you felt like hiding, gave more than you had left to give, and now, finally, you're here, in this quiet place. And it's okay to exhale. It's okay to admit you're tired. It's okay to let God be strong while you are not, because that's who He is, a strength that never runs out, even when yours has, a shelter that stands firm, even when everything else feels unsteady, like a safe house in the middle of a storm. His love surrounds you, protects you, and gives you room to breathe. Let your mind picture this, a house on a hill, sturdy and warm, with its lights glowing from the windows while thunder rumbles in the distance. The rain may still be falling outside, but inside, it's calm. The wind can howl, but the doors are shut, and the fire is glowing. That's the kind of safety God offers. Not a promise that storms won't come, but a promise that they won't break you. Not while He's holding you, not while His arms are around you. Tonight, that house is yours. That refuge is your soul's home. There's a reason Psalm 91:4 says, He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. God isn't a cold, distant protector. He is tender, soft like wings, strong like mountains, protective, but also gentle. You don't have to be perfect to come close. You don't have to hide your weakness. You can bring all of it, your fears, your confusion, your weariness, and lay it down right here. He understands every unspoken word. He knows why your heart aches, even if you can't name the reason. And He welcomes you in. No judgment, no shame, just arms wide open, waiting to wrap you in safety. You see, the beautiful thing about God is that He never gets tired of being your refuge. People might grow weary, but not Him. He doesn't get annoyed when you show up again and again with the same burdens, the same prayers, the same tears. He's not surprised by your struggles. In fact, He already made a way for your healing before the hurt even arrived. He already had peace ready before the anxiety crept in. His care isn't reactive, it's constant, always ahead of you, always enough. So now, as your body begins to slow down and your breathing softens, let the truth of God's nearness settle deeper than your fears. You don't need to know what's coming next to be safe tonight. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to know who is with you, the one who never sleeps, never grows weary, and never forgets his own. He is the stillness in your storm, the quiet in your chaos, the peace that comes not from answers, but from presence. As you lay here, let the weight of the day roll off your shoulders. Let the fear of tomorrow dissolve into trust. You are under the shelter of the Almighty, and here, in His shadow, there is nothing to fear. Let your thoughts slow down, let your heart be held, and let your soul rest, fully and safely, in the arms of the One who is always, always enough. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing at the edge of a quiet field. The sun is low on the horizon, casting warm golden light over everything around you. In the distance, you hear the gentle trickle of water, soft, steady, peaceful. As you begin to walk toward the sound, you notice how calm everything feels. There's no rush, no pressure, just you and the stillness. Birds glide effortlessly above you. A breeze brushes your skin. The noise of the world feels far away now. Every step brings you closer to that peaceful stream. And when you arrive, you see the water flowing slowly over smooth stones, weaving gently through the grass and trees, unbothered by time. You sit down, take a deep breath, and let yourself be still. Nothing demands your attention. Nothing pulls at your heart. You are exactly where you need to be. This is the picture of peace God invites us into. Psalm 23 paints it beautifully. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Let those words soak into you tonight. He leads. He restores. He quiets. You don't have to make the peace happen. You don't have to search for the still waters on your own. God brings you there, gently and patiently, because He knows what your soul needs. He knows how worn out you've been, how you've kept pushing, kept trying, kept going, even when your heart was crying out for rest. And now, here in this moment, He's saying, "Let me lead you. Let me bring you to the stillness you were made for." So many of us carry a weight we don't even realize. The weight of always having to be okay. The weight of pretending we're strong when we feel fragile. The pressure to keep moving when what we really need is to stop. But God's way is different. He doesn't rush us. He doesn't shame us for needing rest. In fact, He built rest into the rhythm of life, into the design of creation itself. Even the ocean pauses between waves. Even the sun takes time to set. So why do we feel guilty for needing a moment to breathe? Tonight, let go of that guilt. Lay it down by the water's edge. God isn't asking you to push through. He's inviting you to lie down. Think about that. He makes you lie down, not because He's forcing you, but because He loves you too much to let you burn out, because He sees what you need, even when you don't. That green pasture isn't a reward for doing everything right. It's a gift, an undeserved, unconditional gift for the tired, the anxious, the overworked, the overwhelmed. And the still waters, they're not distant or hidden. They're right here, in this moment, in this breath. Every time you pause to be with Him, to listen, to surrender, you are stepping into those waters. You are letting Him restore your soul. Let your imagination linger by that stream. Feel the soft grass beneath you. Hear the rhythm of the flowing water. Let your thoughts quiet down, one by one. All the worries you've carried throughout the day, they can wait. You don't need to fix them right now. You don't need to figure anything out. You are not alone in any of it. God is here, not with demands, but with delight. He delights in giving you rest. He rejoices over you with quietness. His comfort isn't a quick fix. It's a deep healing that works beneath the surface, gently unwinding what's been knotted up inside you. There is something so powerful about being still, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. In a world that tells you to always do more, be more, achieve more, God's whisper is different. He says, "Be still and know that I am God." Not know all the answers, not know how everything will work out. Just know Him. Know that He is with you, and that's enough. When you sit beside the still waters of His presence, your soul remembers what it's like to breathe deeply again. Your body lets go of tension you didn't know you were carrying. Your heart begins to believe that maybe, just maybe, you're going to be okay, because you're not facing life alone. You never were. Tonight, you don't need to earn your place by the water. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to receive. Let the peace of God wash over you, like that gentle stream. Let it soften the edges of your thoughts. Let it whisper to your soul that it's safe to rest now. No more striving, no more pretending. Just you, fully known, fully loved, fully held by the one who leads you to still waters, not just once, but every time you need him. So lie back, sink into that peace. Let the sound of God's love become the only thing you hear. And as your breathing slows and your thoughts fade into quiet, remember this: you are exactly where you need to be, beside the still waters, in the care of the shepherd who restores your soul. There's something comforting about promises, not the kind that people make and break, but the kind that come from someone who never fails, never lies, never changes. The kind that are as solid as the ground beneath your feet, and as certain as the sun rising tomorrow. Tonight, as you lie here, let your heart lean into the promises of God, the ones that have stood through centuries, through storms, through every kind of trial and season. Because these aren't just words written long ago. They are living, breathing truths spoken over you, meant to wrap around your soul like a blanket, warm and steady, even when everything else feels uncertain. These promises aren't fragile. They don't depend on how strong your faith feels or how perfect your life looks. They are rooted in who He is, unchanging, faithful, kind, and near. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Just take a moment and let that promise sink in. Do not fear. Why? Because He is with you, not might be. Not only when you've had a good day, not only when you feel spiritual, but always, right now, in your weakness, in your worry, in your silence, He is with you. You may not feel strong, but He promises to strengthen you. You may not know what to do next, but He promises to help you. You may feel like you're slipping, but He promises to hold you up. His hand is under you tonight, steady and sure, even if your heart is trembling. Sometimes, we carry promises like distant hopes, like maybe they're true for someone else, but not quite for us. Maybe you've prayed and waited, hoped and felt let down. Maybe you've wondered if God's promises are real when your reality looks so different. But what if His promises aren't tied to your circumstances? What if they're deeper than what you see and feel? God's promises don't expire when life gets hard. They don't get revoked when you question or doubt. In fact, it's in the dark, confusing moments that His promises shine the brightest. Like stars that only appear when the sky is black, His word becomes your light when everything else goes dim. You may not understand the journey, but His promises are the map that always point back to His heart. And His heart is for you, not against you. There's a quiet strength that comes when you begin to truly believe that God is not going to abandon you. Not tonight, not ever. He's not watching from a distance, shaking His head. He's right here, whispering reassurance into the places where fear once lived. He's reminding you, gently but firmly, that He finishes what He starts. Philippians 1:6 tells us, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion." That means you're not stuck. You're not forgotten. Whatever chapter you're in right now, it's not the end of the story. God is still writing, still working, still weaving purpose through the pages you don't yet understand. Even in your waiting, He's fulfilling His word. Think of the promises like anchors, not to hold you back, but to hold you steady. When the winds of life blow hard and your thoughts begin to drift, the promises keep you grounded. When doubts whisper, His word speaks louder. When your own strength fades, His remains. Hebrews 10:23 says, "Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for He who promised is faithful." Not just able, faithful. That means He won't let you down. He doesn't forget what He said. He doesn't leave things half done. His faithfulness isn't seasonal or conditional. It's eternal, and it's for you, right now, right here. In your real, messy, beautiful, broken, tired life, you don't have to hold everything together when He is already holding you. So tonight, let your soul breathe in these promises. Let them settle over your heart like gentle rain, soaking into the dry places, softening what's been hardened by fear or pain. Let go of the need to control and lean into the comfort of what has already been spoken over you. You are chosen, you are not forsaken, you are deeply loved, and you are never alone. God's promises are not distant thunder, they are the calm voice beside you, saying, I will never leave you, I will never stop loving you, I will carry you, I will provide for you, I will heal you in my time and my way. Even if you don't see the answer yet, the promise still stands. Even if you don't feel the peace yet, it is already yours. Let tonight be the night you stop trying to hold it all and simply rest in what has already been given. God's word is not a fragile hope, it's an unbreakable truth. His promises aren't temporary comfort, they are everlasting assurance. So close your eyes and rest, knowing that what He has spoken will come to pass. You can sleep safely, not because life is perfect, but because His promises are, and they are yours, forever. Imagine for a moment that you're standing in a wide, open field at dusk, a cool breeze brushing over tall grass, the world quiet, except for the distant sound of gentle footsteps approaching. You look up and see Him, the Good Shepherd, walking toward you, steady and unhurried, His eyes filled with kindness and deep understanding. He isn't just a distant figure, He knows you. He knows every twist and turn your path has taken, every hidden ache and silent hope tucked inside your heart. You don't need to explain anything, He already sees it all. You are His sheep, precious and beloved, and He calls you by name. You recognize the warmth in His voice, the familiarity in His smile. All the worries that have been piling up begin to loosen, if only for a moment, because you realize you are not wandering alone. Your shepherd is near. In the world outside, there's so much noise, so many distractions calling for your attention, so many voices telling you what you should do, where you should go, how you should feel. But here, in the presence of your shepherd, all those voices fade into the background. He doesn't rush you, He doesn't push you ahead or leave you behind. He matches your pace, guiding you with gentle wisdom, always attentive to your needs. When you stumble, He is there, steadying you, lifting you, never shaming you for being weak or lost. When you are weary, He finds the softest patch of grass for you to lie down, and He stays close, watchful, protective, so you can truly rest. His presence is like a soothing balm on the ache of your soul, a reminder that you belong to someone who will never give up on you. The Good Shepherd's care isn't just about keeping you from harm, it's about leading you to places where your soul can be restored, your heart made whole, your spirit refreshed. He knows when you need to pause, to breathe, to recover. He notices when the burdens become too heavy, when your spirit is worn thin from trying to be strong for too long. And instead of telling you to press on, He invites you to let go, to lean into Him, to be carried for a while if that's what you need. He reminds you that you're not expected to have it all together. You're not meant to wander on your own, solving every problem and carrying every load. He came for you, not just to save, but to guide, to heal, to provide constant, unwavering companionship along the winding roads of your life. Every sheep is precious to the shepherd. None are forgotten, none are too far gone, none too broken or lost to be brought back. Think of the times you felt overlooked or invisible, times when you've wondered if anyone noticed how hard things have been or how heavy your heart felt. Your shepherd noticed. He noticed the moments when you quietly reached out in prayer, unsure if anyone was listening. He noticed the tears you wiped away before anyone could see. He noticed the silent battles, the brave steps you took, even when you felt afraid. Every single moment mattered to Him. Every step you've taken, every valley you've walked through, He was right there, walking with you, guiding you, sometimes carrying you when the journey felt impossible. Jesus said, I am the Good Shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. This is intimacy. This is belonging. You are not a face in the crowd, not just another name among many. He knows you as only a loving shepherd can, deeply, personally, tenderly. And because he knows you, he knows exactly how to care for you. He knows when to draw you close, when to let you explore, when to speak gently, and when to simply sit with you in silence. His care adapts to your need, never rigid, always loving. When your path is confusing, he leads with clarity. When your heart is anxious, he brings calm. When you are overwhelmed by the voices of fear or shame, he reminds you of your worth. In his presence, you can finally stop striving. You can simply be. Imagine resting in that open field, the sky deepening above, your shepherd nearby. He keeps watch through the night, alert to every sound, every shadow, so you don't have to be afraid. If any danger comes close, he steps in front, defending you with his life. You are not alone in the darkness. He is there, closer than your breath, closer than your worries. He never grows tired of caring for you. He doesn't grow impatient when you wander or when you doubt. Instead, he keeps calling you back, inviting you to safety, to comfort, to the warmth of his company. The more you let yourself believe you are truly known by the shepherd, the more you realize you don't have to perform or pretend. You are fully seen, fully accepted, fully loved. All the things you thought you needed to fix about yourself, all the reasons you thought you were unworthy, they lose their power in the light of his love. Because to the shepherd, you are always worth finding, always worth loving, always worth guiding home. So tonight, as you lie in your bed, let your heart remember that you have a shepherd who is good, who is gentle, who is strong when you are weak, and who is always, always near. Let your worries soften. Let your fears grow quiet. You don't have to watch the road alone. Your shepherd is walking with you, leading you through every valley, every shadow, every season. Rest in that love. Let yourself be guided into peace, and know that no matter where you wander, the good shepherd will always bring you home. There's a certain hush that comes with nightfall, a quietness that settles in after the sun dips below the horizon and the world grows soft and dim. For some, that darkness brings rest, but for others, it can stir up worries and memories that hide away during the day. Maybe you know what it's like to lie awake and feel the weight of the unknown pressing in, the questions about tomorrow, the memories of what's been, or the fears that try to creep in when the lights are out. But God's word says that even when darkness surrounds us, we are never without light. His presence is a lamp that never goes out, a gentle glow that leads us through the shadows and calms our hearts. Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path. Those are the words of Psalm 119, 105, and they are for you tonight. Imagine walking through a forest after sunset. The sky is navy blue, the path winding and uncertain, and you can only see a few steps ahead, but in your hand is a lantern. The glow isn't blinding, it doesn't light up the whole forest, but it's enough for each next step. That's what God's word does for you. It doesn't always show the whole journey at once, but it gives you what you need for this moment, this breath, this single step. You don't have to know the future to move forward. You only need to trust that the one who holds the light is leading you. There are nights when the darkness feels heavier, when your mind races with thoughts you can't quiet, when you wonder if you'll find your way. But in those moments, remember that you are not walking alone. The one who created light itself is beside you, holding out hope, whispering comfort, promising that no shadow can swallow you up. Think about all the times in Scripture when God used light to remind his people of his presence, a pillar of fire to guide the Israelites through the desert, a star to lead wise men across miles of uncertainty. Jesus himself called the light of the world, shining hope into places where despair once lived. Maybe your path feels dim right now. Maybe you're unsure of what comes next, or you're carrying burdens that seem too heavy to speak out loud. But no darkness is too deep for God's light. No shadow is too thick for him to reach you. The night is not the end of your story. It is simply the place where God's love shines brightest. Even if your prayers are only whispers tonight, even if your faith feels small and flickering, God's light is constant. It never burns out, never leaves you stranded. Every promise he's spoken is a tiny flame, and together they become a beacon to guide you home. Let your mind rest in the gentle assurance that you are seen, even when no one else sees. You are known, even in the most hidden parts of your heart. When doubts come, when worries press close, let the truth of God's word be your answer. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That's John 1:5. And it is a promise that the darkness will never win. Every night will eventually give way to morning. Every valley will be crossed, and with every step, God's light goes ahead of you. Picture yourself holding that lantern now, the golden light casting soft shadows and making the way ahead just clear enough. You might not see the destination, but you are safe in the journey. There is peace in trusting the one who walks with you. His light is not harsh or overwhelming. It's gentle, patient, perfectly suited to your need. It shines just enough to remind you that you're not lost, not forgotten, not abandoned. No matter how long the night, you are walking with the light of the world, and he will never let you go. Let the darkness become a backdrop for God's faithfulness, a canvas on which his love can shine more brightly. With every breath, with every slow and steady heartbeat, let yourself relax into the assurance that you are protected, guided, and cherished. There is no darkness that can keep him from reaching you. No night that can hide you from his sight. Even as you drift towards sleep, his light remains, constant, unwavering, loving you with a warmth that outlasts every shadow. So if you feel anxious about tomorrow, or if you're carrying memories that weigh heavy tonight, let his word be your guide. Repeat the promises quietly in your mind. Let them light the path to peace. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? That's Psalm 27:1. Take comfort in knowing that as you rest, you are held in the light of God's love. The darkness is not your enemy. It is simply the place where his presence draws near, where his promises shine truest, and where you are invited to trust him, step by gentle step, all through the night and into the dawn. Peace can be a hard thing to find in this world. Some nights it feels just out of reach, hidden under the weight of your worries, buried beneath the noise of your thoughts. You try to quiet your mind, to push aside anxiety, but still it lingers, whispering what-ifs and should-haves. Maybe you've tried to chase after peace in your own strength, arranging your life so carefully, thinking if only you could fix this or control that, then the calm would finally come. But what if the kind of peace your heart longs for isn't something you have to earn, or chase, or maintain on your own? What if true peace is something that's given, a gift that comes not from the world, but from Jesus himself? He says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Those words in John 14:27 are more than just comfort. They are a promise, straight from the heart of God to yours. Jesus offers a peace that doesn't depend on your circumstances, doesn't fade when things get hard, and doesn't require you to have it all together. His peace is deeper than anything the world can offer, more enduring than anything you can lose. It's the peace that stilled the stormy sea with a single word. The peace that let him sleep in a boat while the winds raged outside. The peace that calmed hearts in the middle of chaos and gave hope when everything seemed hopeless. Picture what it feels like to truly rest in that peace, to let go of the thoughts that keep running in circles, the fears that play over and over like a song you can't turn off. Imagine your heart growing quiet, your breath slowing, as you release everything you're carrying and open your hands to receive the gift of Christ's peace. It doesn't matter how messy or tangled your thoughts are. It doesn't matter how big your worries have become. Jesus welcomes all of it. He meets you right where you are, offering you his peace, as surely as he offered it to his disciples that night so long ago. Sometimes it helps to remember that peace isn't a feeling you have to manufacture. It's a reality Jesus speaks over your life, like a gentle covering that wraps around you and shields you from the chaos outside. The world's peace comes and goes, here for a moment, gone the next, fragile and breakable, but the peace of Jesus remains. It sinks deep into your soul, filling every anxious place, every restless corner. It holds you together when everything else seems to be falling apart. Even in the midst of uncertainty, even when you don't have answers or explanations, His peace is enough. Think of all the times in the Gospels when Jesus brought peace to the people around Him. He brought peace to the woman who reached out in the crowd, trembling with shame and fear, simply by saying, "Your faith has made you well, go in peace." He brought peace to the disciples on the stormy sea, terrified and convinced they were going to drown, just by standing up and saying, "Peace, be still." He brought peace to the brokenhearted, the lonely, the lost, never with judgment, always with compassion. That same peace is offered to you tonight, no matter where you are or what you're facing. Maybe you don't feel peaceful right now. Maybe your mind is still spinning, your body tense, your heart aching for answers. That's okay. You don't have to force yourself into a place of calm. You only need to turn your attention to Jesus, to remember His words and let them echo through your heart. "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you." Let those words be the soft rhythm you breathe in and out. Let them quiet the fears you can't name, soothe the worries you can't solve. Jesus isn't asking you to do more. He's asking you to let Him hold you, to let His peace fill the spaces where anxiety once lived. As you settle into this night, try to picture that peace as a soft blanket, wrapping around your shoulders, warm and gentle and steady. Each breath you take is an invitation to let go a little more, to trust a little deeper, to rest a little easier. Jesus isn't in a hurry. He's not impatient with your worries or annoyed by your questions. He sits with you in the quiet, patient, and loving, reminding you that you are never alone, never forgotten, never beyond the reach of His peace. Let tonight be a turning point, a moment when you stop trying to fight for peace on your own, and instead, simply receive it. Let the storms outside your window remind you that even when the world is restless, your heart can be calm. Even if the questions remain unanswered, the path unclear, the future unknown, Jesus is present. He is whispering peace over your soul, speaking calm to your chaos, promising that His love will never leave you. And as you let your thoughts slow, your body relax, and your heart surrender, let His peace be the final word over your night. You are safe, you are held, you are loved, and you are covered in the perfect peace of Jesus, the peace that nothing in this world can ever take away. There is something profoundly comforting in the thought that you are held, not just seen or noticed, not just acknowledged from a distance, but truly, tenderly held. So many of us go through our days carrying burdens that no one else can see. We smile and push through, but deep down, we long for someone strong enough, kind enough, present enough to simply hold us, just as we are. Maybe you feel that need right now. Maybe the world has felt overwhelming, or your heart has been weighed down by cares you can't quite put into words. Tonight, as you rest, let yourself sink into the reality that God is holding you, even now. Isaiah 49:16 says, "See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." Those words are not just poetry, they are a declaration. You are so precious, so loved, that God has made your name, your life, a permanent part of Himself. He does not forget you, not for a moment. He does not grow weary of caring for you. Your needs are not an inconvenience to Him. Your weakness does not push Him away. In fact, it draws Him closer. Imagine what it means to be engraved on His hands, so close, so permanent, so protected, not written in pencil that can be erased, not even ink that might fade, but engraved, carved in with intention and care. You are safe in hands that shaped the universe, gentle hands that lifted children and healed the sick, strong hands that calmed storms and carried the cross. There is no safer place to be than held in those hands. All your anxieties, all your questions, all your unfinished prayers can rest there. God knows your story, every high and low, every moment of celebration and sorrow. He knows the things you tell no one, the secret struggles and silent dreams. He holds them all with tenderness, never rushing you, never shaming you, always giving you space to rest and breathe. In seasons of uncertainty, when the future seems cloudy or your path feels unsteady, it's easy to believe you must hold everything together yourself. Maybe you've felt that pressure lately, the urge to be strong for everyone else, to keep your world spinning, to never let anything slip. But you were never meant to carry it all alone. God offers you his hands not just as a support, but as a sanctuary. You can fall apart if you need to, knowing that he will never let you go. His hands are steady when yours are trembling. His grip is gentle when you feel fragile. He does not demand that you be unbreakable. He only asks that you let yourself be held. Sometimes, it's hard to accept that kind of love that doesn't keep score, doesn't wait for you to get it all together, doesn't pull away when you're weak. But that's exactly the love God has for you. Jesus said that not even a sparrow falls to the ground without the Father noticing, and that you are worth far more than many sparrows. If he is so attentive to the smallest details of creation, how much more attentive is he to you? When the nights are long and your heart aches, he draws near. When the tears come, he collects each one. When words fail, he listens to the quiet of your soul. You are never out of his reach, never lost in the crowd, never forgotten or abandoned. Let your heart imagine what it feels like to truly rest in those hands tonight. No striving, no pretending, no performing, just being, just letting yourself be the beloved child you are. You do not have to impress him. You do not have to make yourself worthy. His love already decided your worth, and he is not changing his mind. Every heartbeat, every breath, every hope, and every fear is safe in his care. You can rest knowing that there is nothing you could do to make him love you less, and nothing you must do to make him love you more. Picture yourself, for a moment, like a small child being picked up and held close. No questions asked, no conditions given. There is peace in that embrace, the kind of peace that lets your guard down, that quiets the need to fix or perform or worry. The world can wait outside. For now, you are simply held. And when you wake up tomorrow, his hands will still be beneath you, ready to carry you into the new day. The circumstances around you might shift and change, but his care for you will not. The same hands that hold the universe hold your life with infinite tenderness and care. Tonight, let that truth become your safe place. Let it quiet the noise of your fears, soften the edges of your anxieties, and lull your mind into rest. If your thoughts start to race, bring them back to this picture, you, held in the hands of the one who loves you most. If old worries creep in, remind yourself that you do not have to carry them alone. You are not meant to be your own savior. You are not meant to hold the whole world. God's hands are big enough for all of it. Let yourself lean in. Let yourself be small. Let yourself be comforted and cared for and known. It is okay to rest. It is okay to be weak. It is okay to need to be held. As you breathe in the quiet of this night, know that you are never alone. Even in the silence, even when you feel forgotten or overlooked by the world, you are always seen, always cherished, always protected. The hands that hold you are strong enough to carry every burden and gentle enough to wipe away every tear. Rest in that embrace, and as sleep gently comes, let your last waking thought be this: you are safe, you are loved, and you are always, always held. Hope can be such a delicate thing, especially when the night feels long and the world feels heavy. Sometimes, hope is loud and vibrant, rising up like a song you can't help but sing. But on other nights, hope is quiet, a soft whisper, barely there, almost too gentle to notice. Maybe tonight it feels far away for you. Maybe life has worn you thin, and hope seems to have slipped through your fingers. But hope, real hope, is not lost so easily. It does not depend on how strong you feel, or how much you can see ahead. Hope is a gift from God, planted deep within, and even in the quietest moments, even when your soul is tired, it remains. You might not always feel it, but it is always present, a steady undercurrent running just beneath the surface, ready to rise up again at the smallest sign of morning. Romans 15:13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." This is the kind of hope that comes not from circumstances or good news or easy days, but from God Himself. It is hope that's alive, growing quietly, even in the dark soil of disappointment, doubt, or waiting. Think of a tiny seed buried deep beneath the earth, unseen, but still full of life, still full of possibility. In the same way, God is growing hope in you, even when you can't see it or feel it. He is at work, in ways you may not recognize, weaving joy and peace into your spirit as you choose to trust Him with what you cannot control. Sometimes, hope starts as nothing more than a simple prayer, maybe not even spoken out loud, maybe just a sigh, or a longing, or a wish that things could be different. That's enough for God. He hears even the smallest cry. He sees even the faintest glimmer of hope left in your heart, and He gently fans it into flame, reminding you that you are never abandoned in your waiting. Hope says that God is not finished yet. It whispers that your story is not over, that new mercies are coming with the dawn, that the same God who brought you this far will lead you the rest of the way. When you look back on your life, you may notice that hope often showed up when you least expected it, on days when you had almost given up, or nights when you thought you had reached your end. Somehow, a word, a song, a kindness, or a sudden peace would find you and lift you, even if only for a moment. That is the work of the Holy Spirit, breathing life into places that feel dry, shining light into corners you thought would always be shadowed. It's the way God gently brings your heart back to life, slowly and surely, one breath at a time. You don't have to muster it up on your own. You don't have to pretend that you're always optimistic or unshakable. Hope is a gift, freely given, waiting for you to receive. On the nights when hope feels far away, it can help to remember all the times before when God carried you through the unknown. Every answered prayer, every comfort received, every moment of unexpected strength, they are reminders that God's faithfulness stretches far behind you and will reach far ahead. When you remember, even just for a moment, it's like striking a match in the darkness. The glow may be small, but it is enough to guide you forward. You may not know what tomorrow brings, but you can rest in the assurance that the God of hope walks with you into every new day. Let your heart find rest in the promise that you are never waiting alone. Even as you sleep, God is working. Even as you dream, hope is taking root. Every breath you take is a declaration that you are not finished, that your story is still unfolding, that good things can still come from hard places. Hope is not just for the strong or the confident. It is for the weary, the doubtful, the ones holding on by a thread. It is for you, right now, in this gentle, quiet night. So as you drift towards sleep, let yourself listen for the whisper of hope in your own spirit. It may be faint, but it is enough. Enough to bring peace, enough to carry you through, enough to remind you that the God who holds you also holds your future. Let every slow breath, every quiet heartbeat, become an invitation for hope to rise again. New mercies are waiting in the morning. Light is coming. And as you rest, may hope gently settle over you, soft as a promise, strong as the love that placed it in your heart to begin with. Night has its own kind of quiet, a hush that settles over everything and invites you to lay down your worries and let your thoughts drift. For many, the darkness can bring unease, a sense of vulnerability, of being left alone to guard your world while the rest of it sleeps. There is something almost sacred about those hours when everyone else has drifted off and the house is still. But what if you knew, deep in your soul, that you are not the only one awake? What if you could rest knowing that someone is always watching over you, keeping careful, loving watch through every hour of the night? Psalm 121 paints a beautiful picture of this promise. It says, "He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. There is no moment when you are unseen, no hour when you are unprotected, no breath when you are not cherished." Think about that for a moment. You can close your eyes and let go, not because the world is suddenly safe or easy, but because God is awake when you are not. You don't have to stand guard over your life all night long. You don't have to keep checking and worrying and wondering if everything will be okay. You have a heavenly watchman, a loving Father who sits by your bedside, vigilant and kind, attentive to every detail. He knows the fears that come to visit you after dark, the anxious thoughts that sneak in when the world is quiet, the memories that try to replay, the to-do lists that refuse to rest. He is not impatient with you. He does not grow tired or frustrated. His eyes never close. His hands never drop their care. He is steady and strong, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Let your heart imagine what it would feel like to rest without reservation, to truly believe that you are watched over. You can sleep as deeply as you need to, knowing there is not a single moment when God is distracted or far away. He watches over your home, your family, your dreams, your very soul. The things you love most are never out of His reach. Even when you don't have words for your prayers, He knows what is on your heart. He is always present, always alert, always prepared to comfort and protect. As you drift towards sleep, remember that God is not like us. He never grows weary. He doesn't miss anything, not the smallest sigh or the deepest ache. His love is tireless, His care constant. There's an old comfort in the truth that you don't have to figure it all out before you can rest. You don't have to have every answer, every worry resolved, every detail managed. The world will keep spinning while you sleep, and God will keep watch. He stands at the door of your life, guarding your heart, surrounding your room with His presence. When you are most vulnerable, He is most vigilant. His faithfulness is the answer to every fear. You can lie down in peace and rise in hope, because your watchman never steps away from his post. If your mind wanders to worries about tomorrow, let those thoughts rest in God's hands. He already sees what's coming. He's already preparing the answers you need, the strength you will draw upon, the comfort that will meet you. While you sleep, He is at work, healing, restoring, and weaving together what you cannot see. Nothing escapes His notice. Nothing surprises Him. Nothing is too big or too small for His love. When the shadows feel long and the night feels endless, let the promise of His watchfulness become your lullaby. Imagine the peace of knowing that you are never left alone, never abandoned to face the night by yourself. God's presence surrounds you, gentle as a blanket, firm as a fortress. His angels stand guard. His Spirit whispers calm. He gathers every anxious thought and soothes it with truth. You are safe, you are seen, you are cherished. You can breathe out the day, knowing that the watchman of the night is awake, and nothing will slip past his gaze. So tonight, as you settle under your covers and feel your body relax, let your soul follow. Let go of the need to stay alert. Let go of the fear that something might be missed. Let your last thoughts be of the God who sits with you through every hour, who delights in your rest, who never tires of being your protector. Trust that He is working in ways you cannot imagine, answering prayers you have not even spoken, and holding you close until the morning light returns. You can rest because He does not. You can sleep because He stays awake. And when the new day dawns, you will find that nothing escaped His care, not your hopes, not your fears, not even a single breath. You are watched over, loved without end, and kept perfectly safe in the arms of the One who never sleeps. Now, as the world grows quiet and the soft hush of night settles around you, let your soul be drawn into the deepest comfort there is. You are loved beyond measure, and you can rest in that love tonight. The love of God is not just an idea or a distant wish. It is a living, breathing reality, closer than your own heartbeat, gentler than the softest breeze. Zephaniah 3:17 promises, "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In His love, He will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing." Imagine that. The God who made the stars and set the oceans in place takes delight in you. He rejoices over you, not with judgment or disappointment, but with gladness, with singing, with the tenderness of perfect love. Let that truth begin to quiet your heart. Every place in you that has felt unworthy, overlooked, or unseen, let it hear the voice of love tonight. You don't have to prove anything here. You don't have to earn your rest. You don't have to strive for affection or approval. You are already chosen, already precious, already wanted. Before you spoke a word or took a single step, you were loved completely, fiercely, eternally. That love holds you now, wrapping around your tired body, settling over your anxious mind, whispering to every weary thought, you are safe, you are mine, you are deeply, unshakably loved. There is a quiet miracle that happens when you allow yourself to fully rest in God's love. The worries that seem so pressing begin to loosen their grip. The mistakes you keep replaying in your mind begin to fade in the light of His forgiveness. The pressures to be more, do more, fix more, they all soften and fall away, because God's love is not demanding, but inviting. He invites you to come as you are, to lay down your burdens, to let Him quiet you with His presence. You can let go of your self-judgment, your striving, your fears about tomorrow. All that is needed tonight is a simple willingness to receive, to believe that you are loved and held by a God who knows every part of you and chooses you still. Imagine being held in that kind of love, the kind that is not put off by your flaws or mistakes, but instead draws closer to heal and restore. The kind that is not threatened by your doubts or fears, but remains steadfast, unwavering, through every season. The kind that listens to every word you whisper in the dark and understands the prayers you cannot even speak. Let the reality of God's love sink deeper with every breath you take. Let it settle into the quiet places of your heart, bringing warmth and peace and gentle assurance that you are never alone. There is no fear in love, for perfect love casts out fear. The love of God does not run out when you are tired or make mistakes. It does not fade with time or grow distant in seasons of doubt. It is stronger than anything you will face tomorrow, more constant than the rising and setting of the sun. It is patient, kind, and endlessly forgiving. As you rest, picture yourself sinking into that love, as if into the softest bed, every ache and tension slowly dissolving. Each time you breathe out, let it be a release of worry and regret. Each time you breathe in, let it be an acceptance of grace and comfort. Tonight, you are surrounded by a love that rejoices over you, not just tolerates or accepts, but celebrates and delights in you. The Creator of the universe sings over your life, blessing you with peace and belonging. You don't have to hide anything from Him. He sees the depths of your soul and calls you beloved. Every longing you carry, every hope and disappointment, every joy and sorrow, He holds it all in the gentle hands of perfect love. He invites you to rest, to stop striving, to let His love be enough. As the night deepens and sleep begins to drift closer, let your mind settle into this sacred truth. You are wrapped in the arms of God's love. Nothing can separate you from it. Not your past, not your failures, not your fears or doubts. His love reaches further than the farthest star, deeper than any ocean, stronger than any darkness you may face. Let yourself be fully embraced, just as you are, without condition or hesitation. If old worries return or anxious thoughts try to stir, gently remind your heart, you are safe, you are loved, you are never alone. The world may change and shift, but God's love remains the same. It is your home, your anchor, your quiet place of rest. Even as you sleep, that love keeps watch over you, holding you close, blessing your dreams, promising you new mercies with the morning. Allow that peace to be the lullaby that carries you into deep and healing sleep. And so, as you finally close your eyes, let the last thought that fills your mind be this: you are cherished, chosen, and completely loved by God. Nothing you do tonight or tomorrow or any day after will ever change that. In His love, you find your rest, your hope, your belonging. Sleep now, wrapped in perfect love, and awaken to a new day, knowing you are always, always loved.